Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California. Welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast. Okay, welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, broadcasting from KGXT Studios, 200 feet below occupied California.
Live.
Deep behind enemy lines.
Live.
We are live. Well, we're live. It's a recording.
We're live.
We're not live on the butt. Those of you who are listening, who normally listen on the butt, you're going to be shaking your heads going, we didn't get to hear it live. No. We did not.
I don't know why you just don't throw it on the radio right now.
I don't think anybody... You want me to?
It's late. It's late on the East Coast.
See. Let me fire up the butt.
Why not? Let's see what's happening.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see if anybody pops in. We'll just interrupt
connecting.
Everything.
All right. Interrupting your regularly scheduled music.
It's Gen X Mom.
They're going to be pissed going, that was a great song, too. That was Led Zeppelin.
Oh, hi, everybody in Radio Land.
We did not tell anybody we were doing this. They're going to be pissed.
Let's just do it.
All right.
Why not?
It's
our radio station. We can do whatever we damn well feel like.
All right. So,
are we paying for it?
Yes, we are.
Then we can do whatever we want.
Boy, you sound like our parents. Are we paying for this shit? Then we'll leave the lights on when we want.
Exactly.
You start paying for your own shit, you can do whatever you want.
That's what I was told. So I'm living it.
Well, all right. I partially agree with that sentiment. All right. So yeah, we did. We're back. It is Friday. As we're recording this, it is 2:30 in the afternoon.
Los Angeles time.
We did not record it Thursday because you were just a lump of pain. You were not in good shape at all.
This was a rough getaway.
Turn your camera a little bit more.
What?
Because you're not in the center.
Don't tell me
Wrong
what to
way.
do.
There you go. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it was a rough, well.
It was just, there was good and there was difficulty. It wasn't bad.
We had to go to Dayton, Nevada, because the property that we're interested in buying, they hadn't. It's a field, essentially, and we needed to know where the property lines were. So we opened escrow, but said, "Hey, can you have a survey guy come out? Yeah, we could do that for you." So we went up there to check the flags.
And it started with we left later on Sunday.
Well, that was my fault. Yeah, we left late because
should not have done that.
No, we always leave early, like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Get on the road. It's always easier and nicer to travel when you leave in the morning.
Yeah, it's a good. We can do door to door in 6 hours.
Yeah, and it feels good. You feel like if you're getting tired, you know where you want to stop or how far you want to go. And I'm sure you guys have the same thing. Most people would like leaving really early in the morning.
We are morning people now.
We are. And so we left late because I was sick. I had a toothache. I had all kinds of problems going on.
Yeah, Saturday was, I think.
Saturday was ketchup. Or no.
No, Saturday was just
a bad day.
Was just crazy for me. I was running around and taking you to the dentist, and I think I wore myself out on Saturday too.
You even pulled the plug on me doing the bottom of the glass show.
Yes, I did.
I came back and you were like, "Nope, you're not going," because I'd not been well. Thursday, pushed through the show. Friday, 2 shows on Friday. And when Saturday came around, I was dying, and you took me to the dentist. That guy, I got to say, we found this dentist. He's a great dentist.
Yes, he is.
It's a great location. But
he's a kid.
He was a kid. He was like 12 years old. I'm telling you, he was young.
He was 12 years old and a dentist.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And I go in there
now.
And I say, look, I know you got to do this proper procedure stuff. I get it. The doctors have to go through things, before they can't just, take your word for stuff. All right, I got it. But I said, look, I know what this is. I got a bad tooth. I need you to numb it. I need you to give me, it's infected, I'm sure. Give me some antibiotics to clear out the infection. Then I'll come back and get the tooth pulled.
Right.
And, I told him the whole story. He goes, all right, I got you. Now, I have to take one picture. I got to take one x-ray to keep it on file to see what we're looking at. He didn't sit there and examine me for 40 minutes. He didn't take 30 x-rays. He goes, I got what you're saying. He actually listened to me.
I know. It was fabulous. So it's been a really long time since there's been a dentist that does that.
Dr. McDreamy doesn't even listen to me as well as this guy. Dr. McDreamy.
Oh, please.
Dr. McDreamy just nods his head, waits till I'm done.
It's you.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He knows you.
This guy was really cool about it.
He knows you're a pain in the ass.
Can we just get back to my story?
No, not really. I'm just telling you.
All right.
You're throwing him under the bus and I'm protecting him, okay?
What for?
Because he does listen to you.
No, he
you
doesn't
just
listen to
don't
me.
follow his advice.
That's different than not listening. All right, so
Oh,
the dentist goes in there, and the they don't call him a nurse. What do they call the dental lady?
Dental assistant.
The dental assistant lady comes in, and she takes that stuff and she numbs my gum where she's going to put the shot, where the dentist is going to give me the Novocaine shot or whatever the shot's called. Not called Novocaine anymore. And
It's not?
no, it was called something else. It was something with an M, like Maxa.
Oh, I don't know.
Maxiclalian or something. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't Novocaine. And I told her, I said, because she put the little rub on there, and I go, you missed. It's not where my tooth is. And she's like, well, that's where it's swollen. I go, it's not where it hurts.
Have you ever touched it where your tongue goes numb? Like
Yeah.
you put your tongue over there and then all of a sudden you're like, oh. It's
Yeah.
like,
But in this case, I'm pointing out, like, okay, he's probably going to shoot the needle into my gum.
oh, so nasty.
Not where you put the numbing agent already. She goes,
I know, and she kind of chuckled.
yeah. So she did it twice, missed both times. Sure as shit, the dude comes in here to give me the shot, and he shoots it not where she put the
It's a
Novocaine thing,
big
the rub.
freaking shot, too. I saw it. The needle was huge. He gave you 2 of those.
Yeah, in my entire life, I've always only got one. And he shot it, and I go, you missed. And he goes, what? I go, that is not.
He was putting an elephant down. That's what he thought.
He did, but he got it. He did. He went back in, gave me the shot, got it right. Funny that the next day, when all that, whatever it was, Novocaine type stuff wore off, you know what hurt was where he put the shot
And
in.
who told you that?
Oh, we're just going to, yes, you
Yeah,
did.
thank you.
Your Majesty.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we did that. Then you pulled the plug. I came back trying to figure I could do the show.
No way.
But I was still sick. I was down.
You hadn't slept in like
No,
2 or 3 days.
because I'd been up 2 nights with the pain. Yeah. And so
I was
pulled-
running around getting ready for our trip too.
So I crashed out, did get some sleep that night, but I woke up Sunday and you're like, let's go. I said, I can't wait. I can't. I am so far behind on Gen X Talk stuff. The kid is going to fire me if I don't get my list done. So I said, just give me half a day. I won't work the whole day. So I did like 5 or 6 hours. We got on the road, but it was, you were running around. I was running around. We got on the road and we were already tired. We were already sore.
Yes.
We were already hurting. And we thought about it like, well, we'll fuck up the reservation, but we should just go. We should stay home. Just skip it. We're going to have to pay because we didn't cancel. And I was so pissed off. I'm not giving up that $84 or, you know.
I said maybe we should just go Monday morning.
Well,
that was the other
I know,
thing
but I
said.
just like, no, we're not going to pay for the room and not be there. I'm using that room. So off we went. And the drive up wasn't too bad. We were exhausted on the way. Plus, you do the same thing you always do.
What's that?
We get in the car and like, you, me, you, yeah, we're doing this together. I'm the pilot, you're the co-pilot. We got our stuff, we got our gear, we got our phones, we got our cords, we got our snacks, we got our water, and then you go to sleep.
I make sure you are perfectly fine and comfortable. You have your water, everything. And yes, I fall asleep. I fall asleep on a plane. I can fall asleep
know,
in a
but
car.
There I am.
I'm good to go.
But I'm driving down the road. I'm on Interstate 5 doing 78 miles an hour. And I'm driving along, and you're sleeping for 3 hours. I got no one to talk to. I know you say I can have the radio on,
Yeah,
but I know
listen to a podcast.
I know-
Hey, I know a
What?
really good podcast.
I know you love podcasts.
Gen X Talks. Have you listened to it?
Those guys are assholes. I wouldn't listen to them for shit.
Well, that girl is really cool.
Yeah, she's cool, but the guy's a dick.
Yeah, okay.
So driving down the road, I'm got like 3 hours where I don't make phone calls because it keeps you up. I don't try to listen to music because it keeps you up. And I'm going down the road. I'm like Chevy Chase in Vacation. I'm looking out the window trying to make conversation with people as they go by. Like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? No, I'm just driving. What are you driving? Where are you going? I'm going to Reno. Where are you? We're trying to have conversations because guess what? The dude next to me, his wife's asleep too, and we're just putting along. I mean, but that's how it goes.
We stopped in. We made it to Rockland, right? Rockland, California.
We did.
At
We
the
got on-
Chick-fil-A.
Got to the the Habit.
Oh, the Habit. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Got to the 5 to the 80, started heading east, and then we pulled over at the Habit. I got recognized there by a dude coming out. That was pretty cool.
I'm yawning.
Yeah, there's one yawn.
I'm
All right,
yawning
the
already.
over-under is down
Sorry.
to 3 now. Over-under on how many times will Gen X Mom yawn during the broadcast?
I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
we
But
did-
yeah, you told me because you went in first.
Yeah,
I was cleaning up the truck of all the trash and everything, and then you come out, and I went, "What?"
I know. Well, it was funny. This particular guy, he's, you never can tell when you meet a fan or a viewer or something what they're going to do. And so the guy's like, "Hey, are you the TikTok guy? Are you the?" I'm like, "Yeah, Gen X." He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "You want a picture?" "No, I'm good." Okay, well, thanks for holding the door open for me. I'll go. Some people, they want a picture, they want an autograph, they want to talk to you for a while, and then some guys like, "No, I'm good. I'm just glad I saw you. No big deal." All right.
All right. Well, that was good.
Well, then up in Reno, when I was getting out of the truck, that one guy we had, the
valet guy went crazy.
He went crazy.
I went across the driveway or entranceway.
You're about 50 feet away or 60 feet.
Yeah, but I can hear you guys like you were yelling at each other.
He was like, "Dude, I can't believe it's you. You're the Gen X Talks guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's cool, and that's right. Thanks for watching."
And I couldn't see because you were so many lanes over, and I was just listening.
So excited. That guy was
gosh.
coming out of his shoes to talking. But yeah, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Yeah.
So we did get there that night, and I tell you, we stay at GSR. And
Grand Sierra Resort.
You're really low today for some reason.
You know what? You just do you.
Do you want everybody to hear you?
Do you, boo-boo.
Or are you just going to they're going to think, is this guy talking to himself?
All the time.
Well, but they don't need to know that.
Can you just get with it?
All right. So,
I'm just saying a little side note.
I want to tell you something I noticed about the GSR since we've been staying there off and on over the years. It's improving a lot. Not that it was bad. But like
they're upgrading.
When you first walked into that place, you go through the doors in the beginning, it smells like cigarettes.
Oh man.
It used to be terrible.
Yes.
And then the last couple times it was like, yeah, I can still smell cigarettes, but they're making an effort. This time I did not smell it at all. Now maybe you did because I'm not but it was clean.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, they got rid of that. And so there's definite improvements. The rooms are improving, although you were so tired and you were so sore that day, you can't fucking read a number.
I couldn't.
Now,
I was so tired.
I'm dying from the drive. I'm sore. I've driven the 6.5 hours.
All we wanted was food and bed at that moment.
Just get some grub and get out there. And I'm like, okay, where is the room? And you're like, hey, it's a new tower. It's new elevators. We're in room 2319. I'm like, okay. Remember, I have problems walking. Now, I push my wheelchair. I don't like sitting in it. I don't like being pushed in it unless I absolutely can't walk. I use it as a walker, but then when I get where I'm going, I can sit down if I have to. So I'm pushing myself. Not only was it a 6.5 hour drive, now we're walking through the casino. Now we're walking through the hotel lobby. There's 2 yawns. Over under 3. And you tell me, I got this. See the elevator? I'm sorry, honey. You said the elevator's all the way at the end. Would you like to tell everybody how you fucked this up?
No, I want you to tell the story. Go ahead. I'll make sure you tell it right.
I'm not going to tell it wrong. You fucked up. That's the story.
Well,
so we go
maybe.
All the way down to the end, and I go, where are we going?
It was like an extra 10 feet.
10 feet. I'm sure they build hotel towers 10 feet apart. Yeah, they stack hotel towers just like dominoes.
Okay, 20 feet.
So we get all the way down there, and I go, you sure this is the right series of elevators? You're like, yeah, this is floors 1 through like 16. And I go, well, what floor are we on? You said,
2.
We're on floor 2. We're in room 2319. I said, you think we're on floor 2 in room 319?
Oh, my
You
goodness.
said, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
And all of a sudden we get there and you're like, wait a second. We're not on the 2nd floor, room 319. We're on the 23rd floor, room 19.
Hey, I was
like,
just testing you.
You weren't testing shit. You were genuinely confused. You were bewildered. You were playing a game of Where's Waldo with the elevator.
But we got to talk about the stupid elevators there. Since the last time we were there.
We get back to? We had to walk all the way back down.
Oh my God! You sound like you were walking blocks. You weren't walking.
Blocks.
It was not.
I keep bringing up that I was 6 hours driving. Okay.
Yeah, but
so we get all. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the passenger seat getting my beauty sleep like you. You were sleeping. I was driving.
Go ahead. Finish story.
So we get to the elevator, and now they've changed part of the elevators in the GSR.
Since the last time we were just there a month ago.
Right. But they were similar to the elevators we all had at VidCon.
Yes.
In Anaheim. Now those worked good. So tell everybody how these elevators work, since you were always the one who did them.
Okay, so you're supposed to take your room key and you scan it over this thing and say what floor you're going to. They double check. So not everybody can get on the same elevator. Not everybody can just go to your floor.
Well, it's not so people can't. It's so that they group you.
Well, yeah, but they don't want people going up there if you don't belong up there.
Well, that would just be a key. That would just be key to get on.
Okay, so anyways, do you want to tell the story or me?
Well, I'm trying to get you to tell it right so people understand what the purpose of it is. Why did they design this elevator system?
I'm not a good storyteller. You are.
Well, this isn't just me, the podcast. I'm trying to I'm softballing one here.
So there are 6 elevators in this little hallway that'll go up. And it tells you what elevator that you're supposed to go to. So I scan it and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And there's now more people coming up behind us.
And other elevator doors open and close, but we're not allowed to get on those because
it only goes to the floor. Yeah.
We scanned floor 23, which is our correct floor.
Right.
Those other elevators will not stop on floor 23. There's no buttons on the inside of the elevator.
But it also seemed like 3 out of the 6 weren't working because we never really saw them.
But the point is that you walk up to it and you say, I'm going to floor 23. You scan your card. It says, okay, you're going to elevator 6. All right. So you go to elevator 6 and stand there. If you get on any other elevator, it will not stop on your floor and you can't make it.
And people were doing it. Do you notice by the time that whole week, people were going all the way up and then coming back down? And
we get on our elevator and
crazy.
Someone's stopping at 17, someone's stopping at 21, we're stopping at 23. So we all get in the elevator knowing the rules.
Yes.
And some dude gets on and goes, hey, can you hit 18? I was like, no.
No.
Why can't you hit 18?
There's no buttons on the inside of the elevator to pick your floor.
He's like, well, how do I get to my room? And then you had to lecture them. It's like, well, dude, if you'd pay attention to the instructions out in the lobby.
It's a big poster.
You can't miss it. No.
You can't miss it. It tells you exactly how to use this elevator thing. But, there's always that one person that doesn't do it.
Here's the problem I learned towards the end.
What's that?
Not only can the elevators didn't work and this whole fucking system takes too long.
Yeah.
But the computer calculates how many people can fit in an elevator.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this. Right.
So I scan it and you scan it and you tell us floor 23.
Right.
So it scans it for you. Well, there's 2 of us.
Right. It doesn't know how many people.
It doesn't know how many people are getting on. And then, so it figures 8 to 10 people. Well, other people had 3 kids. One lady had a wheelchair and a little red wagon full of all the shit she's bought.
Plus people with luggage.
They have no idea. So what happens is that the computer says, okay, you 8 people can get on elevator 5 and go to your rooms. And there's 12 people trying to get on.
Right.
They don't all fit. They have to wait. And as soon as they wait, they have to go rescan their key and start over. Did we mention the whole fucking process takes way too long anyway?
Oh my gosh, we waited.
They had to do it twice. And we did it a couple times where we had to wait. It's a stupid asinine. It's not fast enough.
No.
If it was faster, it might be better.
The one in Anaheim was really good.
Yeah.
It was very efficient.
Yep, did a good job. But
so that's how our night started. So we were just like, ugh. Then we got to our room. The room turned out to be it was a renovated room.
Yeah, a little bigger.
Upgraded. It was really, really nice. We were really looking forward to having a little bit more room.
But I couldn't sleep. And I think the mattress, I couldn't determine if the mattress was too hard or too soft. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with all the details of this, but let me tell you how I slept. I tossed and turned for 15 or 20 minutes trying to get comfortable and finally got up and said, fuck, this isn't working. And I looked at the clock and 2 hours had passed.
I hate those nights.
And I'm like, wait a second.
I hate
Where did 2 hours go? Now, obviously I slept, but I didn't feel like it. I felt like I was tossing and turning for 15 minutes. That's how my nights went. So I don't know. I don't blame that on them. I couldn't fucking get it right. Whatever.
So that was our first night. The next day we had planned to go out to the property. Plus we were meeting our realtor out there. We have always communicated by text or email, phone call, but we've never met her in person. So my brother, the Sun Valley Fox, said he'd meet us out at the property.
You get out there an hour before us.
He did. He was like all gung-ho to go out there. It was a beautiful morning out there.
And the reason was that we, like I said in the beginning, we had to go see where the property marker, they surveyed it.
Right.
They put out the little orange or pink.
Right. And you
flags.
were determined to walk that property.
I needed to see it. I got to see what we're buying, what the land is, right?
Uh-huh.
So
we didn't want like a little square missing or like you can have everything around it, but like an 8-foot, little square in the middle or something.
What I was thinking is, what if you buy it and you're like, you think you know where the markers are, but you're like, wait a second. I thought the line was here.
Right.
You're telling me the line's over there. I just didn't want to go through that.
Yeah.
So
you were determined to walk it.
Yeah, until I got there.
And
well, it's first of all, it's uneven terrain.
Uh-huh.
And there's prairie dog holes.
Well, get your fat ass out there. You know what? Actually, my brother and I were like, who's going to pick him up if he falls?
Yeah. So, see?
First of all, we both agreed. My brother and I agreed we were going to film it and we were going to laugh our ass off.
I thought that was bullshit.
And then decide how we were going to get your fat ass out of the field.
I did move a little bit closer to going out there, but I didn't want to. I could see everything. They put out the markers like every 20 yards. It wasn't just on the corners.
Yeah, they did a good job.
But
that would have been funny. That would have been good material.
How would you have picked me up?
I don't know. I probably would have had my brother go get his tractor. But there might be a weight limit, so I don't know.
Yeah, his tractor's not very big. It's not like a big John Deere.
But we'd have to. I'd have to stop crying. My brother and I would be rolling. No,
be sad?
No,
crying from
we would have been
sadness?
laughing.
Worried about me? Concerned? Would you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a big thing.
And then I asked you one question. I go, "Are there snakes out there?"
Yeah, there are.
I don't like snakes.
Probably not all the time, but yeah, this is definitely.
I'm not a big fan of snakes.
There's wild horses in this area. There's probably coyotes, kit foxes, a lot of rabbits. I'm fine with
all that.
Snakes.
I just don't like snakes.
Yeah. There's not really anything you can do to keep them off your property.
There's family of quail out there.
Yeah, a lot of quail.
So anyway, that was really funny. But my brother and I had a good laugh about that going, man, if he falls, I don't know what we were going to do.
That is not something you should dwell on with a happy memory is falling and injuring myself. There's something wrong with both of you if you think that way.
No, that would have been some really good material.
Yeah, speaking of moving up there, if this does go through and it does work out, the big controversy inside Gen X Talks and staff is how to move the studio.
Oh my gosh, that is
because it's 12 feet wide, and this is an ongoing discussion on how to secure it to a trailer and have a semi drive it up there. I can get a crane to lift it out of the backyard and set it on the trailer.
I want to be long gone when you do that.
But I was talking to Low Torque, and I said, I'm going to strap it down. And he goes, as soon as you do, it'll collapse inward on itself if you strap it across the top and around the sides. All right. Well, they make those poles inside that push outward. You can stretch out a pole inside and click it, and it puts outward pressure on the wall. So we could put like 4 or 5 of those in here and then strap it to, we could do this.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head, you guys.
It could make it. I know it could.
You've taught all these guys are just, I don't know.
I think the legal limit from Loudon, he said it's 104 inches is how you can't have it hang over on the trailer. He goes, you can go right to the edge of the trailer, like 104 inches.
It's going to hang over.
I think it's going to be right on it, isn't it? Yeah.
No, I think it's going to.
So we just tie a red flag to it. How many times over the years have you seen me take extra long loads of stuff places, tie a red flag to it, and go, man, go? That's it.
I just don't.
I'm just telling you.
I don't know.
Also, we're going from California to Nevada.
Yeah. And
can you imagine if we tried to go through one of those California fruit fly checkpoints and the side of the studio hit the little booth?
You can't go through there with that. You'd have to go through the truck scales.
I know. Yeah. I think it would work. In fact, all I have to do is call Grant at Torque Strap and say, listen, I need to secure this. And he's going to have some torque straps that'll help us out. And that's true. So we're good to go. Just got to call Grant. Everything will be fine.
So how do you feel about the property now that you saw it?
It's 2.5 acres. It's in a good spot. It's evenly divided with the other half of the property that we did not buy.
Right.
And so there's a good it's a good shape. It's not like a long, narrow 2.5 acres. It's not a perfectly square 2.5 acres.
No, it's like a rectangle.
A little bit, yeah. It's got 2 short sides, so it's going to be in a good spot if we buy it, which we're trying to. If we get it, it'll be.
What's this if thing going on?
As Billy the Kid once said, "There's many a slip between a cup and a lip."
Oh my gosh!
You're just never sure.
And my brother kept asking me more than once, "Are you excited?" No, not yet. Why aren't you excited? I said, because the paperwork has not been signed yet.
Right. Yeah,
I am
we're not
not
done.
getting my hopes up until the paperwork is signed. And he looked at me funny. I go, I'm not kidding.
It's just moving the money around to get it before we owe it at the close of escrow. Just making sure. I mean, I'm going to have the money, but timing, I might be off by 2 weeks. And I'm just trying to get I got it. I got the cash coming in. I'm trying to get it before right on time. I don't want to be 2 weeks late. Other than that, everything will move. All the plan is in motion correctly. I'm just right now, I am within probably a 30-day window of having things either right on time or 2 weeks off where I fucked it up.
Oh, okay.
Well, unless you want to reach into your bra strap and pull out $125,000 that I can borrow for 2 weeks, I'm just at what are you thinking about it for?
I'm thinking about it going home. Where can I get this money from?
Yeah, I've been in your bra strap recently. There's no money in there.
How do you know?
Because how would you get? I've been there. How do you know
it's in my bra strap? Maybe it's somewhere else.
That's where you put your money. A lot of girls put their money there. You do.
Well,
your mother used to put her cell phone there.
Yes, she did. She always knew her boobs rang.
Yeah, I know. We're sitting there one time, and the first time I saw that, and I go, because she couldn't hear very well. I'm like, your boob is ringing. And she's like, oh, yeah. Reaches in there, pulls out the phone. I'm like, oh, my God.
Speaking of my mom.
I never wanted her to say, after she reaches into her boob, pulls out her cell phone, I never wanted her to say, it's for you. I am not putting that up against my face.
That is so funny. Speaking of my mom.
Yes, your mother.
Let me tell a little story.
All right.
I've been going to physical therapy, right, for my back and my hips and everything.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's lots of people that can relate. When you're doing something or whatever, and your mom and dad have passed away, but throughout your life, they pass on little wisdoms and little things that they say and stuff like that. And I can hear I'm in my exercise wear or whatever you wear to the gym and stuff. And I had ran out and did a couple errands, and then I went to physical therapy. And I could hear my mom getting mad at me, like she's talking to me in my head going, you should not wear your gym clothes out in public. That is not ladylike. And I'm just like,
You even came home and you mentioned that. You're
yes,
like, you came home and changed. I go, what are you doing? She goes, she, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she even comes home and goes, my mother's been yelling at me about what I'm wearing.
The whole time. So the next time I had to run some more errands, I said, I'm just going to pack my gym clothes in a bag and take it.
Oh my God.
And you were like, what? I said, yes, I got to go into the bank and I got to go do something else. And I'm not wearing these clothes out. And you said, why? And I said, because my mom said, that is not ladylike. You don't go out in public looking like that.
Your dad also said to wear shoes when you're working, shoes and socks. Don't go in the garage without shoes and socks. You do it all the time.
No, he just said shoes. I'm good with flip-flops.
Oh, my God.
And I do that. When I go out in the garage, if I'm barefoot, I can hear my dad yelling at me about that.
Because you're not supposed to do it. It's just common sense.
Well, it's just something that,
How is your physical therapist going? Is this where Dr. McDreamy's got to make a phone call and get him, straighten him out, or did you are they finally doing what he wanted them to do?
No. They're not. He wanted them to manually move my hips or something, or adjust them or something of that. So they are not. They are just going through exercises and stretching and stuff like that. Oh, electric stim on my back. Yeah. But it's working. I'm feeling stronger.
But it's not what he wanted.
No, not exactly.
So I just need to walk in there next time and go, look, I get what you're doing. We've let you go for a few weeks now, but you're not doing what our doctor is looking for. So either you do this or we got to find another place. That's all. Just got to tell him this is what he wants done.
Well, that would have to be, Dr. McDreamy would have to call them and tell them.
No, all I have to do is walk in there and go, look, this is not what the doctor wanted. He was trying to find a place that would do this. If you're not going to do this, if you're going to pass us off to some intern who's like a first-year medical student, and you're not going to do the things he wanted done, then we got to go someplace else.
So there's just physical therapists in there that do it, and they're helping. But it is making me stronger. I mean, after this little episode this last weekend, I was just as uncomfortable I was before,
All I'm
riding in
saying
the car.
is that you could have, it could also do all that plus the thing he wanted done. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll have to talk about
All
that.
right, whatever. I'll take care of it.
Fine.
Not a big deal.
Fine, then take care of it.
I'm gonna go in there and straighten him out. It's
Whatever.
not a big deal.
So going back to Reno, we sidestepped a little bit.
Yeah.
The first Monday night when we were there, we went to my brother's and we had a wonderful barbecue with my brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And then Dr. McDreamy and Marcy Zavala came to my brother's house.
How come you don't list them as the characters they are?
What do you mean?
Well, you said Damon and Marcy and your brother and sister-in-law. I would have said the Sun Valley Fox and his wife, Saint Donna. I would have said Dr. McDreamy and his wife, MarcyZavala.com.
Oh, I forgot.
You forgot to say it in character. People know who these people are by characters.
My brother was like barbecue chef that night. We had ribs and
He
chicken.
makes
and,
the best
oh,
ribs.
man.
Now, he uses Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Which I do too.
Yes, you do.
That's my favorite. Briggs would say, oh, so you used the second best barbecue sauce that there is. He likes, oh shit, what is the one he likes? I'm going to mess it up. He says the best barbecue, Lucille's.
Oh, yeah, Lucille's
barbecue sauce. He loves theirs from Lucille's. That's his favorite.
So that was a really nice, we sat outside, we laughed, we reminisced, that was a really nice evening. We watched the sunset.
It was okay.
What's your problem now?
It was fine.
Uh-oh.
Until Dr. McDreamy had a few drinks.
And then what?
And then I was telling him, of course, he's the doctor. He's going to ask me, how do you feel? How are things going? And we talk about the blood work, the medication, just a doctor visit too, because he cares and we're doing that. And I think everything's going fine. I think as I'm describing this, it looks good. And well, let him know my weight is less. It's coming off. My medications, I'm more consistent. My eating habits have been improving. I mean, it's not drastic, but every bit of it is in the right direction. He waits till I'm all the way done saying all this. Then he goes, yeah, but you should be 80 pounds lighter.
Yeah, he did.
I go, what does that mean? He goes, no, it's true. You should look at the chart. Marcy and I got a chart. It's like, well, what the fuck does your chart know? That's your expectation on your end of it. If I'm following everything you're saying, relax, man. I'm moving in the right direction. Yeah, well, you should be down 80
Not
pounds
fast
lighter.
enough for him.
Not even close.
Then get with it.
And then you guys, then the two of you start discussing some drug.
Ozempic.
And he goes, and you're like, well, I don't know. He goes, it would help him lose weight. It would help him do this.
But then I asked about the side effects that everybody's been hearing about.
Right. There's a bunch on the internet about that. And he goes, yeah, that drug will probably be on 1-800-BAD-DRUG pretty soon.
Yes.
I'm like, why the fuck are you guys even entertaining the idea of me taking it? I don't want it. It's like, and then he goes, well, nothing else seems to be working. Yes, it is. I'm moving in the right direction. We're doing this. And he's like, well, So it was a great visit. It was great ribs,
it was
great
fun.
chicken.
And what were you guys drinking that night?
Oh, your brother broke out the Pendleton 1910. So smooth.
All three of you were drinking that.
So smooth. Yeah, except for that, apparently I should be 80 pounds lighter. That's all I remember now.
Oh my gosh, get over it.
Every time I close my eyes and think of Dr. McDreamy, all I see a minus 80.
Are you butthurt?
Oh, yeah, it hurts.
Pull up your pantyhose, okay?
How dare you?
Pull up the pantyhose.
You're supposed to blindly be on my side. We're married.
I am
You're
on your
fucking
side.
this whole thing up.
I
You're
went
not on my side.
home with you. So I'm on your side.
But you're bitching the whole way. What does that mean?
Where was the bitching?
You're siding with him about the minus 80 pounds. You're calling me butthurt. You're telling me to pull my pantyhose up. You're deciding whether I should or should not take this drug that has terrible side effects.
Yeah.
Then you turn over and smile and go, but I'm on your side.
I was. I went home with you. That's all good.
That is not the defining factor of on my side. My God. Okay, never mind. Anyway, it was a great barbecue. Wonderful company, beautiful view, $1 million view, in my opinion. I love it.
Yes, and I also raided my brother's garden. I went out there and started eating all his vegetables.
I have a confession to make about dinner that night.
What's your confession?
I don't know if this was store-bought salad or garden salad from his garden. The leaves you gave me.
Yeah.
But you guys were all inside. Sun Valley Fox and I were out there. And so I was eating my fruits and vegetables to get them out of the way like I always do so I can get on to the meat. and it was delicious. And I told him, I said, oh my God, don't tell my wife this, but this stuff's really good. And he goes, I'm not sure where the lettuce is from. It could have come from the garden. I don't know. But the dressing, his wife, beautiful, wonderful St. Donna, he said she makes that from scratch.
Yes, she does.
And that was impressive. That's something that I wish I could bottle up and take home with us next time we come home, because I'm not a big salad guy. And if I am, it's always like ranch or blue cheese.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
This was delicious.
That's cool. Yeah,
and I never feel that way about it. Whatever it was she made, we should try to get it from her next time because it was really good.
I can make that. You just never have liked it.
Well, then how come I liked it when she made it? What's the difference?
Because it's St. Donna.
Oh, but I didn't know that she had made it when I first tried it. I didn't know if it was store-bought. I was informed after the fact.
Okay.
It's true. That's how it went. You weren't out there. You don't know.
So we drive back to the hotel, and you have to hit your favorite little coffee shop, thing, whatever.
2nd Street Market.
That's what it's called.
Little cubby hole inside a GSR right by the elevators.
It's for the munchies while you're gambling.
It has every milk or soda or water or bottled and canned thing you could want.
Yeah, you can run over there, grab something, and get back to that slot machine as fast
slot machine quick. They've got full big tubs of fresh ice cream or cakes or donuts. They've got cookies. They have everything there.
Cupcakes,
they have all different kind of pizzas.
Oh my gosh.
And they're fresh
sandwiches.
because everybody's ordering them all the time. So you grab a donut one time and it's still warm. Then there's people behind the counter making these sandwiches. You can get these fresh sandwiches made. I mean, I love that place.
Yeah, it's a quick go, so you can get something to eat and get back on that slot machine or back to the tables as fast as possible.
Well, I love that little store, that little shop. But we go in there this one time. There's always a little bit of a line, but it goes pretty quick. So I'm sitting there, and this obnoxious, screaming little shitty little bratty girl, I guess she was 5.
With no manners.
No manners at all. And she's screaming at this table, and I could tell her older brother, who's like 11, is just teasing her. So I start scowling at this boy. I'm grinding my teeth at him. I'm squinting he gets it real quick. He's like, oh. So he stops bugging his sister. Mission accomplished. Wrong. Because now he's got this little girl so wound up. And her mother is...
And she's pushing through the line, through the people. She's
getting there. I can't tell whether her mother's in front of us or behind us because the mom is talking to her girlfriend and there's other people in line. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you're right. This little girl is pushing her way through everybody.
Yes.
She pushes me out of the way. She pushes you out of the way. She pushes 3 people. She pushes them, and then she goes to the M&Ms and just grabs a handful of these bags of M&Ms and screams at her mom. Her mom yells to put them back, so she pushes her way back. This is constantly going through the line. And the mother, I'm going to say she was Pakistani or Indian or something, and like entitled. Her kids were entitled. I'm like, my God, what the fuck, Chuck? So this woman, and she keeps staring at me like, don't say anything about my kids. She glances over and gives me that look like, don't say something. Like I'm the problem here. Yeah. And I'm not the problem. I'm a handsome individual who's keeping his damn mouth shut. This woman is just imposing herself on the entire community in a bad way with her kids, and I'm angry. So, her kid pushing herself up and down, back and forth. Finally, my left leg may have leaned into the direction that kid was going a little bit. Boom. Right in the side of her jaw. She clips my knee. I'm like, oh, well, hey, you ran into me. And the mother's like, come over here. Had no idea that I kind of leaned into it a little bit. Uh-huh. But the girl stopped for a minute because she got clocked in the side of the jaw with my knee because she's running full speed.
Yeah. So,
that lasted about 90 seconds. And then the mom starts being loud again. And she's yelling at her kid. She's yelling at her friend. I'm like, oh, I almost turned around and go, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You take your kids and go do something. This is horrible. So she finally gets up there. Like somebody called her up in front of us because I know she ended up right in front of you. And I don't know that her friend was cutting in line or she was meeting her friend. I don't know. But they end up right there. Now this little girl who's still crying and whining and running around, now she's fixated on my wheelchair.
And doesn't need any more sugar.
Doesn't need any more sugar. I will say, as much as I say that the mother was obnoxious looking, This girl to me was cute as a button. If she would just shut the fuck up, this girl was cute as a button in a nice little dress. She was great, except, oh my God, she was like that girl from, what's that movie, that cartoon movie? Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah, not Dory.
She's like that little girl who shakes the goldfish, but with no braces. She just,
Yeah.
She was that, just like, oh my God, you're killing me. Well, now we've all moved up in line. Now this lady and her son and the daughter and the friends, they're up in front of you. And this little 5-year-old, whatever, is fixated on my wheelchair. And she wants to touch it. Now, I'm not in it. I'm pushing it, remember?
Right.
So she looks at me. She looks back down at the wheelchair. She looks up at me. She looks back down at the wheelchair. And she reaches for it. And I pulled it back. And I scowled at her. And she sat there. Now,
you're the mean old man.
Everybody, guess what? She quit crying. Because now she's focused on something here.
Right.
So I put the wheelchair back where it's supposed to go. And she wants to touch it, so she swats at it. She like is going to swing at it. Like just tap it. She's going to just swing at it.
Yeah.
And as she does, I pull it out of the way, and then I lean over the chair, and I'm scowling like this. Well, now she's getting a little upset because, ooh, okay, scary guy. Meanwhile, her mom is talking a million miles an hour, being loud to everybody else. But now the little girl's hiding behind her mom's dress. Now, the best part of this was twofold. One, I got her to shut up. She was so focused on this little personal challenge with me, she had shut up. Secondly, she had gone over to around her mother, and as she's pulling on her mother, she's annoying her mom a little bit, which is what was a bonus for me. Annoy your mother. That's what she's there for.
Hey, watch it.
So now she's been quiet for a long time. You told me to go get straws.
Yes.
So I kind of was going around her, and if she would have swung at that wheelchair, I'd have fucking picked it up over my head. There was no way she was winning this. I was not going to let her touch it. But I knew that it was in a really tight area, and here I go, going by her, and she comes out from her mom's dress, and she's looking at me go by like...
She was determined to touch it.
She was going to touch it. She's like, no, you can't get away now. So as she comes out from behind her mom's dress around the side of her, I'm going behind the mom. I just leaned down as far as I could. Like she was going to have to go past my face to get to that wheelchair. My face was down at like 3 feet off the ground, moving sideways, looking right at her. I mean, to everybody else, this would have looked really weird. Why is that dude staring down a 5-year-old? What's his fucking problem? Well, they didn't know because they weren't there, but I knew. You were going to yawn right there. That was 3. Yes, you were. So I go to get the straw, and as soon as she realizes she was making her move for the wheelchair, as soon as I got my face down there and she realized she couldn't do it, started crying again. Started screaming at her mom like she wanted to tell her mom, this asshole won't let me touch the wheelchair. This guy's been fucking with me for the past 15
I want to touch it.
Yeah. She got that mad. So I got the straws, went out to the thing, waited for you. We got back on the stupid elevators that don't work. But I want to tell you, I counted that as a victory. I won.
Over a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I beat her.
Congratulations.
I will tell you, and every guy will attest to this, I kept thinking that her husband was going to show up. And the husband was going to say something to me about, why'd you stare down my son? Why won't you let my daughter touch the wheelchair? I anticipated how I was going to handle this guy coming in and saying some shit to me about his family.
But it never happened.
It never happened. No, but I was ready for it, just so you know. Yeah.
So the next day we were there, you did some work in the morning, and then we headed on over back to the Sun Valley Fox's house so you guys could play in the garage.
He wasn't playing.
Yes, you were.
The Sun Valley Fox is a retired master machinist.
Yes, he is.
And so he wanted to see some of these bad dog tools, and we filmed some stuff in there in the garage, and tried to figure out because we weren't doing something for cutting quite right. Bad Dog was still performing very well. We got all the video.
You guys were just having a blast playing. That's all you were doing.
It was work.
You were playing.
Hard work.
Oh, brother.
Ask Mike Perkins. Mike Perkins stopped by. He was there. He saw it.
Yeah, it was really hard.
This was work. I'm sure Mike was getting exhausted just watching us work.
I bet he was.
It was horrible. I mean, I had to take pain pills when this was over. This was such a traumatic experience.
Wow. All right.
So your brother did have some requests that he wanted some blades from some very expensive blades from Bad Dog Tools. He wants to put them on some of his saws and do some tests. Coincidentally, because I wasn't sure if we were using these tools quite correctly, I did have a Zoom call with the owner of Bad Dog Tools today, Ann.
Oh, cool.
And she got on there and I said, listen, I got some technical stuff. She goes, fire away. Remember, she's been doing this for 25 years. She absolutely knows everything about it.
Okay.
And I said, no, I said, I'm trying to do this, but I couldn't cut that. I was trying to drill this, but it wasn't working like that. She educated me on the angle of the drill bits, on the speed and why the speed matters to the angle. And I said, well, we weren't using any cutting oil. She goes, you can use any cutting oil, but she goes, I didn't send you some of our dry, she called it a dry oil. And I'm like, no, but I remember, I'm just a dumb mechanic. I don't. So she says, well, I was telling her the story. She goes, well, what was the Sun Valley Fox asking for? And I said, well, there's some big stuff and they're expensive and I don't really expect you to give them to me. She goes, well, I'll send you all the stuff he asked for.
Wow.
And she goes, we don't have a 12-inch blade like he wants. It's experimental right now. We have one you can buy for wood and trim and finish, but there's an experimental blade that we've got. I'll send you one of those.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Did she know? Did you tell her that he's a master mechanic's been doing? Master machinist.
Yeah. She didn't have the big one. Yeah.
Doing this for 50 years. Like,
yes, I did. I told her. I said, "This is his gig." She goes, "We don't have this one in this size, but we have an experimental one we're making for a 9-inch
Did you tell my
deal."
brother?
No. I tried to call him. He didn't. In typical Sun Valley Fox, he didn't answer the phone. He didn't respond to the text. Fuck him. He doesn't get to know then.
Wow.
You know what? When Saint Donna, his beautiful, lovely wife, listens to the podcast, she'll come over and go, "Hey, jackass, you should have been."
She would never say that.
No, she wouldn't. She would say, "Well, loving husband of mine, you missed the phone call from the general, and he really had something exciting.
He has
a present for you." I did talk to Ann today. She straightened me out on some stuff. We can continue on still, and we haven't even got to some of the stuff they've sent to try. She did make a compliment. She goes, that video for Bad Dogs that you guys did with the kid, the short, she goes, that is so funny. I guess they shared that with everybody.
Oh, nice.
So she's loving that aspect of
nice.
it. So they have their son's getting married on the 11th, and then we're going to sit down and talk about, hey, can we get some more tools? Can we try some more stuff? Right now I'm talking about them. They're not paying us. I'm just talking about it because we like it and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But,
it sounded like the Sun Valley Fox liked him, stuff.
He did. And he'll like him more now that I have the background on what we're supposed to be doing and how with them.
Yeah.
But for those of you that want to go buy these, because they're expensive, we actually have a promo code. If you go to genxtalks.com, scroll to the bottom where it says sponsor advertiser page, click it. It goes to a whole page of people that we work with. There is a direct link and a promo code. You can get money off if you want to go try some of these.
Oh, cool.
She said a lot of people have been using it. There's a lot of people that want to go try them. They just want to try certain aspects of it.
That's awesome.
So it's been great. They're not killing it with us, but we do have a pretty loyal following. People are trying it. And it's working. It's
That's
making
good.
a difference.
That's really, really good. So, hey, the kid called me today.
About
your
what?
son.
No, always. This must be an idiot because whenever you say he's always your son when you're proud of him. He's always my son when he's done something stupid.
So he calls me on the phone and he goes, "Hey, Mom." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm doing a proof of life call." I said, "Proof of life? That's nice. I'm really glad.
That's good. Yeah.
Glad to hear your voice." And he wanted a code or something that was being sent to my phone. But I said, "Hey, we're leaving for Vegas on Tuesday." And I said, "You're supposed to be here on Monday to work Gen X Talks and stuff." I go, "Why don't you just spend the night?" He goes, "Oh, hey, that's a good idea." I go, "We can get up early, head to Vegas and stuff." And he goes, "Okay." And I said, "So you getting nervous about
you want
jumping?"
to tell everybody what you're doing, what we're doing there?
The kid was invited to skydive with the Golden Knights Army paratroopers. He will be jumping on Wednesday. I think it's the 7th or 8th. I can't remember.
I think, yeah.
So we're going to Vegas the day before. He has to check in, and then he will be escorted out to Overton, Nevada. That's where they're going to be jumping from. And we're going to follow along to watch our kid jump out of an airplane.
Yeah, we get to do a lot of recording while we're there, and then they do professional recording, which we get a copy of. So we'll be able to do that.
So he told me today he's a little nervous.
Now, he's not the only one invited, but I don't know who else, because when I talked to the guy, one of the guys I talked to in the beginning, they said they do ask celebrities, they do ask TV people. They do ask social media influencers, and
athletes.
then it could be an athlete.
NFL, anything. They
But
can
you
do.
didn't tell
Past
me-
presidents have done it. Not that any past presidents will do it now.
No, but he didn't say who they even
No,
invited.
we have no idea. And that's what I was telling the kid. I go, you have no idea who you're jumping with. I said, you'll find out Tuesday morning when they
Right.
put you in your van at
Right.
God early.
Oh God, early.
And they take you out to the jump area. The only thing the other thing is on that Wednesday, do you know we have to just kind of hang out there and wait for his jump schedule?
Yeah, we do.
It sounds like there's a lot of people that are jumping.
And it sounds like he goes. I thought they said he goes twice.
What?
I thought that's what I heard them say. Maybe it's just once, but I thought they went twice, but maybe not. But you're right. We have to sit on the ground and just wait for the airplane. I mean, they're getting a C-130, and they got to get up to their altitude.
It takes a while.
It does. So
it takes a while to get up to the elevation, but they're going to put them into groups. So what I had read is that they're going to start early in the morning, and then it depends on the weather too and everything that's going on.
Well, I'm bringing my wheelchair. I'm going to bring a bungee cord for an umbrella, and I'm bringing my Yeti cooler. Everybody else can be standing out there in the desert, waiting, looking up in the sky. I'm going to be having the time of my life, baby.
Yeah, and the kid's oldest brother, who was in the Army, is going to be out there. He can't wait to see his little brother jump out of a plane.
Right.
So
Well,
that'll be fun.
Like you said today he's getting nervous.
Yes.
This is after months of me saying, "Are you nervous? Are you going to be nervous? Are you getting nervous?" Like, no, man. He's talking his teenage guy. I could do this.
Yes.
No problem. Who gives a shit?
His
I'll
older
jump out of
brother's
the
going to
plane.
make him.
I'll come out,
really
jump out of that plane. I'll jump out blindfold. I don't care. Now that he's getting closer, he's getting more nervous. And you're right. His older brother's going to tell him, when I was in the Army, there was people that died doing this.
He's going to be the big brother
In fact,
going.
one of my friends broke his leg doing that. Every story that the older brother can tell.
Yes. Going to make him feel like shit that day.
That's going to be funny.
That's an older brother thing, though, I guess.
So the other update on Briggs is, and this pisses me off. I got to tell you, I'm mad. He's still selling his Cutco knives, but he's working down there 12 hours a day because he's determined to put forth maximum effort and make this work.
Right.
He goes down at 7 o'clock in the morning. He comes back at 9 o'clock at night. And he doesn't live at home anymore, but he's putting in all these hours. And all I can think about when he calls me, he says, "Yeah, Dad, I was down there at 6:55. I got down there early, got in my chair, got at my desk, worked all day, ran out, grabbed some lunch, came right back, put my nose to the grindstone, kept going." All I keep thinking about is, how come this motherfucker didn't work this hard for me?
Because we made it too cushy at home.
He wouldn't. I couldn't get him to come from his bed. This is not a lie. This is an absolute true story. Every day I'd say, just walk out back to the studio and be here at 8.
Yes, that's all he had to do.
That's all he had to do. He'd walk in at 8:03 still putting on his shoes. But for
And then
this,
he had to have breakfast.
yeah, then he'd go take a shit. So let me see if I get this right. For this guy, he'll drive across town and be showered and clean and breakfast and everything done, ready to go at 7.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
And ready to go.
At 7 in the morning, but he won't walk from upstairs to the backyard for me at 8 o'clock.
No. But you know what? You're going to have to follow up on something I said to him. He was telling me all these hours, too, that he was working.
Yeah.
And I said, when you sit down and decide how many hours you're putting in and then what your paycheck is,
Yeah.
is it going to equal out to minimum wage or less?
And what did he say?
He goes, I don't know. He had no idea what I was talking about.
You told me that. I'm like, how could you not be thinking, well, I've put in 12 hours a day for 6 days,
Yes. I think Dad's going to have to sit down and ask him,
and just do the math. He could, I'm telling you right now, and I applaud him for learning some of these life
ethic.
lessons.
Yeah.
Yes. He is developing a work ethic.
Yes.
Something I couldn't teach him. But literally right now, as it stands for this past month, if he'd have put in these kind of hours at McDonald's, he'd have double the money. As of right now.
I know.
I'm just saying, it's not.
We'll have to figure it out. I don't know how much money he's making at this moment, but, when rent and food is on the line, I guess, do it.
I guess. Well, so, yeah. So do we have a Jade update? Do you want to update anybody on Jade, our other child?
You're the one that has to update her. I don't know what's actually going on. She took care of the house while we were gone, or the animals.
She did a good job, but I hid one thing from you.
What's that?
She did a good job with the animals, very hot. So she was doing the watering the chickens often and the bunnies, and you do those.
Yeah. Don't cushion it. Just tell me what's the thing you hid from me.
Can't I tell you the good stuff first?
Nope, bad
Psychologists and counselors and therapists will always say,
just tell me what.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's
blah,
all I'm
blah,
hearing is
blah,
wah, 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 wah. Just tell
Then
me.
the word but.
I'm waiting. What are you hiding from me that I don't know about?
Well, I was upset about one thing because I checked the garden camera to see how the chickens are doing.
Uh-huh.
And for the whole time we're gone, she never used their pool. And I kind of caught on to that 3 days in. I'm like, hey, are you just going to leave the pool upside down? And they really like that. They walk through there. You know, you rinse it out and put the cold water. The chickens walk in it.
Yes.
And she goes, well, Mom had it upside down when I came out here when you guys left, so I thought there was something wrong with it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
And she says, should I be using the one for the dog water too? Because it's yucky green and black on the side of the studio. You have two kiddie pools.
Right.
One in the garden for the chickens and one for the dogs. And I
Right.
go, Jade, and I'm trying to be calm about this. I'm like, yes, rinse them both out, clean them both out till they're bright, shiny, blue, and fill them up with fucking water. That's what I was telling her, but she didn't do it all till the last day. In fact, when you came home and you went right to bed because you were hurting so bad from the drive, that's when she went out and did the one in the chickens. And I'm like, just square up with that. Just, you know it's there. She's been doing it all along. I don't know why. So anyway.
I also found out that one of the dogs chewed one of my sandals.
Don't leave your sandals out.
By the back door, like I always do.
Oh, it was inside the house.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which, when she leaves shoes on the stairs and the dogs grab them, I grab them from the dog and put them up in her room. Now, if they were messing with mine, I think they were mad because I wasn't home, for one
Probably,
thing.
yeah.
But if she was around while the dogs were in the house and saw that they had my shoes, why wouldn't she have picked them up?
I don't know.
And they're my really nice sandals. But anyways, that happened too.
Your
But
dog was probably one who did it too.
I'm sure.
He gets
being
pissed
mad.
when you're gone.
Yes.
So I don't know where she's at with the boyfriend update. I don't get it at all. I haven't heard much since last podcast, but I still think they're dating from afar, whatever that means.
I don't know,
But
but she's
here's-
sure missing a lot of work though lately.
She's missing a lot of work. Now,
I
here's-
understand she's kind of cush, has it at home, doesn't have to worry about,
Yeah.
stuff, but
I do
think
charge her a little bit of rent, but she has two jobs. Either one of them can pay her a little bit of rent, so I don't think she's too worried about it.
I think something's causing this.
Well, she doesn't like her job. She works for Caterpillar, which
Yep.
is an amazing company. They're a great company.
Yep.
But she works in the warehouse and she hustles parts from one end of the warehouse to the other. Go get this part.
She pulls parts.
Yeah, she pulls parts.
It's a fulfillment center
It's
here.
a fulfillment center, so that's all she does. And physical activity has never been her strong suit.
No.
And she's been doing it for months and months now.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I got to tie into this something too, is that we talked a couple weeks ago. We let everybody know that she had to have a computer. I'm breaking up with my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to spend time with him. I'm going to get back into gaming. I'm going to play Skyrim and I'm going to play Fortnite. So she buys this really expensive computer. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
She pulls a table out of the game room. She gets a mat out of the kids' room, the Briggs room. All right. She gets it all together and she's playing. The problem is, two things happen. She plays so late at night and she has to be on the road at 5 a.m.
Right.
But at 1 a.m. or 2, she's still playing. And then she oversleeps or she's tired. She doesn't want to go. And now this other one, she texts me in the morning. She goes, I can't go to work. I'm calling in sick because I have a headache.
And that could be from gaming too.
That's what I try to tell her. I said,
On the
listen,
computer.
You are in a perfectly dark room on that
Yep.
computer monitor for like 9 hours. I'm not surprised you don't have a headache. And she goes, yeah, it's not that. It's something else. Which I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, sparked a memory for me from when she was younger. And she used to do this about every fucking thing going on.
Yep.
If she had pimples because she was eating a bunch of chocolate, we'd say, well, it could possibly be chocolate. You're eating so much, an abnormal amount of chocolate. Maybe that's contributing to your pimples. We told her as a suggestion, that's not what it is. You're wrong. The computer screen could be causing your headaches. That's not what it is. You're wrong. Do you remember the big one she did? She could not stop eating Advils.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
From the time she began having a period, she would sneak them. We could hide them. We told her, you cannot just keep eating Advils the whole time you're having your time of the month.
It was really obsessive.
It was terribly bad.
Yeah.
And guess what? She'd sneak them. She'd get them somehow. And by the time she got to be 21, 22, she started going to the doctor. And the doctor says, and I forget if it's her liver or her kidney, whichever one was affected. They said, you're kind of fucked up with liver. I can't remember, liver or kidney.
Yeah, something like that.
And
Stomach or something.
No, it was either liver or kidney. It was one of those two. And she came home and she goes, oh my gosh, my liver or kidney, the doctor says it's in bad shape. And I go, well, did you tell them that from like 14 till now, all you do is chew Advils for 1 week a month? She goes, Dad, I don't do that. I go, yes, you do.
She did.
You snuck them and you thought we didn't know. We used to not buy them. We used to hide them. And you still found a way. So, because the pain was so much, you just chewed them up like they were candy. I said, go back and tell your doctor that. Well, she did. The very next doctor visit, she came clean and she goes, well, my dad told me to tell you that I would, eat a bottle of Advil every month. And the doctor said, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Whichever it was, liver or kidney. She goes, you have now damaged that. She came home crying. And I said, I try to tell you this shit your entire life. And every time I gave you a suggestion on what could be causing your headaches, like I'm doing now, what could be causing, your problem here, she always would say, that's not it.
It was everything we said.
That's not it. Your suggestion's wrong. That's not it. And here, and just bringing to the point, here we are with the same daughter, the same situation, and now she's missing work.
We're wrong. She's right.
Yeah, and she's missing work, and I'm like, well, two things. One, if you really have a headache, it could be this computer screen you're stuck to for 9 hours. If it's not a headache and you're just tired, it could be that you're staying up for 9 hours playing video games. And same words out of her mouth. That's not it.
Yep.
Okay, well, fuck it then. I'll just quit trying to parent you because no matter what I say as a suggestion, I don't come across and go, this is what it is.
What's going to happen if she loses her job?
Nothing.
Okay.
I thought of one thing that might help her get rid of her boyfriend.
Okay.
I thought of one thing pretty solid.
What's that?
I'll tell you what it is. All of our daughters love the fact that you got to stay home as a mom. It was not easy on us.
No, it was not.
But you got to stay home and raise the kids.
And I wouldn't trade that for the world.
I know. We could have been so much further along in life if we both worked. I get it. I wouldn't trade it either. But all of our daughters see that.
Yes.
And one of our daughters is a stay-at-home mom right now. One child, one on the way, and is staying home, loving every bit of that.
Yes, she is.
Our other daughter is working towards that so that when she gets married and has kids, she's staying home.
Right.
She wants it. All I'd have to do is tell Jade, the guy you're with right now is never going to provide that for you ever, ever, ever. It's not on his radar.
Nope.
He's not thinking about it. He's not planning out how do I take care of Jade so we can get married and she can stay home. So if that's a goal of yours, which we both know it is, maybe I should mention that to her and say, you're never going to have part of that life that you really want with this guy. Now, maybe you don't want it anymore. Maybe that's not what you want, but I bet it is.
Maybe I don't know. That would be something to talk to her about. But I really want to know something. Let's do a parenting thing right now. If she loses her job, will you allow her to just hang out in the house and play video games?
She has 2 jobs.
Barely.
But she could pick up some of the hours of the other one. She could. I wouldn't just kick her out saying you lost your main job. She still could pay rent, pay her car insurance, pay her cell phone bill. Now, if it was her only job, I would say go get another job.
Would you put a time frame on it to find one?
If that was her only job, yeah. But she has another job. I don't know. I'm a little bit lost on what I'd say.
I don't know if she could pick up hours over there. For some reason, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to play this out and see what happens.
I guess.
But
I'm just saying I don't know for sure.
you know how I feel about this. This girl is 25 and needs to pick up the pace here. This is
I know, but she may not figure it out till she's 30 and too old to have a family, or 35. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
yeah, that's the problem.
I have no idea.
We don't know what she's doing.
I don't know. So that's my update on the kids there.
All right. Well, do you have a car story so we can slowly close this one out?
I did think of it's kind of a dumb car story, but it is.
They're all dumb. Why do you think this one's any different?
So back in high school, maybe like 11th grade or so, we used to go exploring. We get a full tank of gas. We just take off, drive on roads up in the mountains.
Who's we?
Oh, my buddies. It was Lauren and Steve and Ernie and Glenn. We just take off and we go explore, do something. We just say we're driving to Yosemite. We go camp in Yosemite with a tent and some sleeping bags for a few days and come back. We just took off.
Okay.
So
like guys do.
Like you do, as one does.
As guys do.
I remember we were out in the desert just driving around different roads. We grab an old Thomas guide and we kind of
Thomas guide.
Yeah, Thomas guide. You know what
I
Thomas
know,
guide
I
is?
do. I
So
haven't
we're
heard
heading
that in a
out
while.
from like the San Fernando Valley towards El Mirage. And there's a lot of desert out there, Joshua trees out there. There's all sorts of stuff. And I remember there was some little podunk diner 100 miles from nowhere. And we got a flat tire right as we got to that place, luckily. And
Okay.
we're like, okay, we don't have any tools with us, but we did have a spare tire.
Yeah, that's not good.
No. But there was
That's not gonna help
there was
you.
like one other guy there he'd been in the diner before, and so we go in there and say, hey, can we borrow some tools? And the lady goes, well, you can look in the barn out back, and there's no tools anywhere. We scoured the whole place. And this guy who was in there also eating, he was finishing his lunch and he was on his way. He's like, well, I got tools in my truck, a little toolbox, you can borrow them, but I gotta go. So we go out there and I tell Ernie, because Ernie was the one driving this fucking car we were driving where we should have never been driving. I'm sure he got the flat tire because he's just fucking being an idiot driving out where we're not supposed to go. So we all
I
tell
thought you
him-
were on an adventure.
We were, but it's
Well,
like,
then.
dude, you're going to get us fucking stuck out here and we're going to die. So we told him, you change the tire.
Uh-oh.
So the guy goes out, grabs the tools for Ernie, little toolbox, and Ernie begins to change the tire.
Okay.
And the guy comes back in to finish his food, and we're sitting there getting like a Coke or a Pepsi or something. And the guy says, okay, look, I got to go. And we could see outside Ernie wasn't done with the tire. He got the tire off, get the new one to put on it, the spare to put on it. But the guy says, listen, I got to grab my tools and go, but I'll leave you the tire iron.
Okay.
It's like, okay, we'll leave us a little tire iron, a couple dollars tire iron. Guy's very nice. He grabs his toolbox, grabs his stuff, puts it in the back of his truck, and he takes off.
All right.
Leaves the tire iron for Ernie to finish the job.
Got it.
So, very cool guy. We said thank you. Off the guy goes. Ernie comes in about, 10 minutes later, and he goes, I got a problem.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, how the fuck did you have a problem? Change the fucking tire and let's go. He goes, well, I didn't want the lug nuts to get dirty, so I set them in the lid of the guy's toolbox.
Oh, no.
He fucking took the toolbox and our lug nuts, and off he went.
And you don't know this guy.
No, he was just sitting in the diner. So now we're sitting there. We are up one tire iron now. We got a tire iron. We got a spare and a flat, and it's up on a jack with no lug nuts now. Well, now I'm fucking pissed. I'm chasing Ernie.
To do what?
Beat the shit out of him.
What?
I'm just going to fucking
What is
start
that
punching
gonna
him
do?
in his legs and in his arm till he's black and blue. Because I'm mad. He fucking did this. I'm sure he got us into this mess. And he just let the guy leave with the lug nuts. Didn't say a fucking thing until he went to put the tire on and then reached for the lug nuts and went, oh shit, the lug nuts are gone. Then he comes in and tells us.
Okay.
So the only good part of this story, and this is a lesson for all of you out there, as I'm chasing Ernie around, going to kick the shit out of him, Steve walks over. I think it was Steve. He walks over with the lug wrench that we've got. He takes one lug off of each of the other wheels.
Oh.
Because you can go without, if you're missing one lug, you're still good.
Yeah.
He takes one off of each. Now he's got three, puts the tire on, puts it on with the three spares, and we just drove carefully all the way home.
In silence?
Ernie was quiet. Ernie shut the fuck up.
I'm surprised you guys all got in the car.
Yeah, everybody got in the car and we took off, and so. Oh
my gosh.
Anyway, lesson for you guys that if you lose the lug nuts, you can always take one off of each one and get by a little bit. There's the third yawn. I told you the over-under was 3 and you just did it.
Oh, my god.
So that's not really a great car story, but I shortened
It's
it up.
stupid kids.
It was dumb, yeah. And
Stupid kids.
Truthfully, I should have just gone out there. And in fact, any of us would have handled this better than he did. Any of us wouldn't have let that happen. So
Yeah, but you guys let it happen because you let him do it.
well, we're trying to get some use out of this moron because he's the one who put us in the spot.
Okay.
Why can't we be inside having some water and a Pepsi and let him be out in the sun doing this? This is, it's late
Well,
in the
lesson
season here.
learned.
Yeah, well, yeah, here's the lesson that comes down from my grandparents. If you want something done right,
Do it yourself.
you just got to do it. There's 4 yawns.
All right, I'm
the over-under
tired.
was 3, and that's 4.
Stop. No more. No more.
All right, look at me.
I'm looking at you.
How long have we been on the air?
Hour, 3 minutes.
Hour and 13. You're way off. You're
yeah.
not good at this anymore.
All right.
All right, so that was it. Did we cover everything? I think so. Did we cover everything we're supposed to?
I don't know.
Talking about stuff.
I have no idea. The podcast is over. Everybody go away.
I
I'm
know
just
one.
kidding.
I know one thing I'm mad about the GSR about.
Oh, here we go. We're going back to the GSR.
This was important
What?
because I drew on the shower. I never draw on hotel showers.
I never saw that.
I know, because you were done in the bathroom. So I go in there, take my shower, and I drew something like super fucking important. I had a brainstorm because their glass on there was huge.
It was a great drawing board.
It was a great drawing board.
Okay, well, I
But
don't really
then
care. You can do that all you want there.
I forgot because I got out and you were like, hurry up, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I thought, all right, well, we'll come back. Room service came in while we were gone to clean the room, and they washed the shower door
Yay.
of all of my drawings up there. And guess what? I can't remember what I drew.
Yeah, well, should have took a picture of it.
I thought I was coming back in a little bit.
You should have took a picture of it.
You were hurrying me.
Oh, poor baby.
Wow. There is no sympathy
Nope.
towards a man and his genius on a glass shower door. There is no sympathy at all.
Nope. I'm going to have to buy you some more chalk.
What am I going to do with chalk?
Or chalk or bathroom soap or whatever for you to do it. They
What's
have
the-
it for kids
Well,
that you can draw on
They
it.
have to have adult crayons too. I mean,
I'll find you some.
there we go. That's
I'll
what I'm
find you
saying.
some.
My have you know what you haven't noticed or haven't said anything about is on the video version of this. I'm in a classroom.
Yeah, I just saw it. I looked up. All of a sudden, I was like, what is he behind? I'm going to
because
yawn again.
There's yawn. It's a 5. Wow, we're getting back close to 6.
I'm done. I'm done.
This is the green screen, but if I hadn't put something up there, it would have been you in the studio and me with a big old,
What are you getting ready for back to school?
Well, yeah, something like that. So I had to find something real quick, and I thought like a 3rd grade classroom.
You would not be a fun teacher.
I would be a great teacher.
Depends on what you're teaching.
I
First
could
of all,
teach any well.
no, you can't.
I
No, way can you?
I wouldn't teach English or math,
Yeah, exactly.
but everything else,
history or mechanics.
I'd be the most fun teacher you ever saw.
Well, it depends. You'd be tough.
Okay, anybody that knows me knows that I'm fucking awesome at this. I'd be great.
Oh my gosh! Why don't you pat yourself on the back,
They would call me the Beard. That'd be my nickname.
Mr.
In
Beard?
school. The Beard.
Coach Beard?
Who'd you get for 6th grade next year? I got the Beard.
Coach Beard.
Coach Beard. That's right. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm out.
We're done.
We're done.
We'll say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Not sure where you're listening in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember, 2 things. Number 1, wherever you go, there you are. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Bye,
I'm out.
everyone.
It's real, no